I'm a Zimbabwean and I'm a firstborn in a family of 4 children. And I grew up in a small town called Murewa, where I did most of my primary and my secondary education. And after I finished my advanced level studies, I came to China to study the Bachelor of Medicine and the Bachelor of Surgery. And currently I am in my 5th year at the Jiangsu University. I would describe myself as an assertive person, as an ambitious person, and as a goal-oriented person. Honestly, growing up, I never thought that I would be a writer. I never had the thoughts of writing, but I always thought of myself as a speaker, and I always knew that one day I would want to communicate something to the world. But then in 2015, I realized that I had so much that I wanted to communicate to the world about purpose, but I didn't really have the platform to do it. So I thought of writing as the best platform to communicate what I wanted to communicate at that time. So basically, I would say that in 2015, that's when it dawned on me that I would want to be a writer. Well, the inspiration behind me writing this book was because there was a time in my life when I was literally confused about my identity, about my purpose as an individual. I didn't know who I was, and I didn't really know what is it that God had made me to do and to be. And so when I came to a place where I had discovered my purpose and I was convinced about that which God has called me to do, I was inspired to also inspire someone else, because I discovered that there are also a lot of people who are still in that state of confusion as I was back then. And so the inspiration was because I wanted to inspire someone to also discover their God-given purpose and also walk in that purpose. The journey to writing this book was definitely not easy. It took me longer than I expected. It costed me more than I expected. It was harder than I expected because I literally didn't know much about writing and I didn't know much about publishing. And so I had to learn basically everything to do with writing and publishing. So it really was not easy. And this being my first book, there is a lot of things I didn't know. But I would also want to say that the process was worth it, and I also enjoyed it at the same time. I get this question a lot about how I balance my medical studies and also being an author. And I would like to say it's all about priorities. It's all about knowing your priorities and knowing what to do, and discipline. When it's time for me to study, I have to study as if I'm not an author. When it's time for me to write, when it's time for me to be marketing my book, to be doing anything at all to do with my book, then I fully focus on that. So I think it's basically all about focus, discipline, priorities, and determination. Yeah. Discovering your God-given purpose is only trying to communicate that God has a purpose for your life. That even before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew you, and He had a plan and a purpose for your life in which your success, your happiness, your fulfillment is packaged. So basically, it's just trying to tell you that when you discover your purpose, when you discover who you are, when you discover that which you are good at, that which you are gifted and talented at, when you discover your passion and you work every day towards it, you would definitely make it in life. I would like to say that my future as an author is quite bright, because in as much as this is my first book, I have also begun working on more manuscripts, so we can look forward to some books in the near future.